Schweden, oi Mama, wer mir geht und a Schien. Mit deine schöne schwarze Augen hat da mir gezogen, oi Mama, freudig geht es mir. Und wenn sagt, hey die Mädel, bist du so lieb in Edel, unser Spiel kriegt in Herz rein. Wird sich tanzen, wird sich singen, und die Bahn, ich werd sie springen, und niemand kann ich mehr nicht sein. Oi Mame, bin ich verliebt. Oi Mame, bin ich verliebt. Ach, les mir jingen, Mama geht's rein, ich bin nur in Sinn. Ich will in Lachen, weiß nicht, Mama, auf welcher Welt ich bin. Oi Mame, bin ich verliebt. Oi Mame, bin ich verliebt. Ich will die ganze Welt erleben, nehmen sie, getrinkt sie sich. Oi, oi Mame, bin ich verliebt. Hey! Oi Mame, bin ich verliebt. Oi Mame, bin ich verliebt. Ach, les mir jingen, Mama geht's rein, ich bin nur in Sinn. Ich will in Lachen, weiß nicht, Mama, auf welcher Welt ich bin. Oi Mame, oi Mame, oi, 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 oi. Oi Mame, bin ich verliebt. Ich will die ganze Welt erleben, nehmen sie, getrinkt sie sich. Oi Mame, bin ich verliebt.
Okay. Janet, do you want to start reading the English?
In the past, we have watched some of the films of Molly Picon and have studied the songs Yiddle, Knit, and Fiddle, Abi Gesund, Mazel, and Vergess mich nicht. The song Oi Mama, bin ich verliebt, oh Mama, am I in love, was written by Abe Elstein for the 1936 film Yiddle, Mitten, Fiddle, which was filmed in Poland by Joseph Green. Green had acted with the Vilna troupe and with Maurice Schwartz's Yiddish Art Theater on the Lower East Side of New York.
Okay, you can continue. Go on, continue.
All right. In the film, Molly Picon is disguised as a boy traveling with her father and other klezmorim, which are wandering musicians. Although klezmer music was an important feature of Jewish folk culture for centuries, some Jews looked down on klezmorim because of their low income and because their itinerant lifestyle kept them apart from community life and made religious observance difficult. While contact with non-Jewish musicians enriched their music, it also raised suspicions among respectable Jews. There are at least 6 performances of the song on YouTube. Oi Mama, bin ich verliebt is sung here by Anat Betzalel, with L'Orchestra Festival conducted by Meinrad Koch at the concert Pearls of Yiddish Song.
Okay, thank you, Janet. Dave? Dave?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oi Mama, bin ich verliebt. Oi Mama, bin ich verliebt. A klezmer jungo, Mama, Gema,
Getrei.
getrei,
Go ahead.
liegt mir nur in sein,
Zin.
in Sinn.
Okay, you want to translate?
Oh, Mom, I am
Come in.
I'm in love.
Please.
Okay.
Do you want Dave to translate or you, somebody else?
Maurice, can you translate?
Mute everyone.
Maurice, can
Oh,
you
Mom.
translate?
Oh, Mom, boy, am I in love. Ben ich verliebt. A klezmer yingel, Mama getraye, lit mir nur in Sinn. The only thing that I have on my mind is a klezmer boy. Getraye is a dear mom, devoted mom. Ich wein und lach und weiß nicht, Mama, auf welcher Welt ich bin. I laugh and I cry, and I don't know where in the world I am.
Okay. Mike? Okay. Rafael, before you leave, read a bit.
Wenn zerspielt sich auf sein Fiddle, when he plays on his fiddle. Now, zerspielen is a little bit stronger than plays. When he plays in all directions auf sein Fiddle, a schön herzig Yiddish Liedl, a beautiful, heartfelt Jewish song. Oi, Mama, werd mir gut an a shir. Oh, Mama, I feel good without limit.
Continue the next one.
Mit seine schöne schwarze Augen, with his beautiful dark eyes, hat mir zugezeugen. He brought me close.
Drew me
He,
to him.
there must be a better translation than
He
that.
drew me to him.
Yeah, he drew me to him, maybe. Yeah.
That's very good. Yes, he
me
drew me to him. Oi, Mama, wohl und gut is mir. Oh, Mother, I feel just great. Well and good. This is mir, is to me, is I feel. Und wenn sagt, hey, du Mädel, and when he says, hey, you girl, and apparently people do use hey in Yiddish to mean hello or hey. Bist doch so lieb und edel. You are so beloved and noble.
Okay, thank you, Rafael. Cookie, you can read now?
I not only know every word by heart, it's on my CD, but I added a verse, an unhave, from a Miriam Crescent song that I think you will get a kick out of hearing for a moment if you allow me to do it. That I did before the song, because I felt it was so perfect for this particular song. And it goes, a jiddische Tochter versitzt nicht bei jedem, gerät hat mit mir schon, dich im verschieden. A Schuster, a Bäcker, a Scheuchet, a Rebbe, a Schneider, a Weiber, a viel a Schreiber. Aber ich bin mit keinem nicht gewähnt zufrieden, weil du ein Herz brennt auf Flamm. A Heise, as ist a liebliche Flamm. Ich hab lieb a klezmer Yingl, mir für sein Fiddle. Kommt zu mir a jeder Nacht und spielt mir auf a little. Oh, wenn zerspielt sich auf sein Fiddle, als schönherzig Yiddish Liedl. Oi, Mama wird mir gut und a schier. Mit seinen schönen schwarzen Augen hat dann mehr zugezeugen. Oi, Mama wollen Gutes mir. Und wenn sagt, oi, hey, du Mädel, bist du so ein lieber Mädel. Und sein Spielen kriegt den Herzen rein. Es will sich tanzen, es will sich singen. Oi, gewaltig will sich springen. Und oi, kann ich mehr nicht sein. Oi, Mama, bin ich verliebt. Oi, Mama, bin ich verliebt. A klezmer Yingl, Mama getreie, liegt mir nur in Sinn. Ich wein, ich lach, ich weiß nicht, Mama, welche Welt ich bin. Oi, Mama, bin ich verliebt. Oi, Mama, bin ich verliebt. Wollt die ganze Welt darum genommen, zugedrückt zu sich. Oi, oi, Mama, bin ich verliebt.
Thank you, Cookie.
Hashem
Thank you
Yavai.
very much. Yeah.
you.
Bravo,
Bravo,
bravo.
bravo. And I live in
Bravo.
my
Listen, that unhave, that first unhave from Miriam Crescent was so perfect. I had to add it to the song. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Thank you.
thank you, Cookie. Thank
Hashem
you.
Yavai.
Now let's go back. Marsha, can you read it? Marsha.
Ich sein spielen kriechen ich in Herz rein will sich tanzen will sich tanzen will sich singen
Mhm.
ich
Oi.
Gewalt Gewalt. Ich werde ich werde zersprungen,
Zu springen. Mhm.
springen. Und in kann ich nicht mehr sein.
Good. Now, you want to translate it or we will let Maurice do it?
Okay, let Maurice. Schönen Dank.
Thank you. Maurice, please.
Und sein Spielen kriecht in Herzen herein, and his playing just creeps into my heart. Will sich tanzen, will sich singen. I just have to dance, I just have to sing. Oi, Gewalt, help. Ich werde springen. I'm just at wit's end. I'm just a mess. Ohne ihn kann ich nicht mehr sein. Without him, I can't be without him anymore.
Okay. Okay, Aida?
Okay. Oi, Mami, bin ich verliebt. Oi, Mami, bin ich verliebt. Klezmeringel, Mami getreie, legt mir noch in Sinn. Oi, Mother, I'm in love. Oh, Mother, I'm in love. Klezmer boy, my dear mother, lights me all my being, gives me life, my being.
No.
No.
Liegt mir noch in Sinn. I'm thinking only about him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay, can you continue, Aida?
Sure. Ich wein und lach und wein an nichts. You know what? I have my sister. She knows more English. Let her,
Okay,
instead of she
okay. What's
talking
your
over
name?
me, she talk.
What's your
Okay,
name, please? Read.
Ich wein und lach und weiß nicht, Mame, auf welcher Welt ich bin. Oi, Mame, bin ich verliebt. Oi, Mame, bin ich verliebt. Tiene que traducirlo. I cry and laugh. I don't know, Mame, I don't know from which world I come. From which world I am. Oi, Mame, I am in love. Oi, Mame, I am in love.
Good, thank you, good. Okay, there's more? Okay, you know what, go on, continue reading. You read really well, go on.
Voll die ganze Welt herumgenommen und zugedrängt zu sich. Oi, Mame, bin ich verliebt. Oi, Mame, bin ich verliebt. Oi, Mame, bin ich verliebt. I want the whole world. I want the whole world herumgenommen to hug. To hug. Okay. And zugedrängt to drink in English is zugedrängt zu sich.
To press it to oneself, to press it to myself.
Okay. Oi, Mame, bin ich verliebt. Oi, Mame, ich bin in love. Oi, Mame, ich bin in love.
Yeah, okay.
I am in love.
Good.
Thank you. Okay, Henrietta?
¿Sigo? No.
A klezmer Yingel Mama getrei, liegt mir noch in sich.
Zin.
Ich wein und lach, ich wein und lach und weiß nicht, Mama, auf welcher Welt ich bin. A klezmer boy, my dear mother. Is it still in my mind? I cry and laugh, and I don't know, Mother, whether what world I'm in.
Yes, good. Good. Okay. You want to continue, Henrietta, or I'll ask someone
Okay.
else?
Yeah, Mama, yeah. Mama and you. Ja, Mama, bin ich verliebt. Ich wollte die ganze Welt herumgenommen und zugedrückt zu sich. Ja, Mama, bin ich verliebt. Yes, Mother, my mother. I'm in love. I would embrace the whole world and hold it close to me. Yeah, Mother, I'm still in love.
Good.
So she's going to embrace everyone along with her boy.
Yes, she's so much in love. Okay. Okay, and that's Molly Picon. So let's listen to it once again.
I didn't mean to stop sharing. Hold on.
Okay, no problem. Okay, Rachel, I see that you.
Yeah, I have a question, and particularly for Maurice. You know, she's singing in a Polish dialect, obviously, but why? But one time she becomes a Litvak, zogt, when zogt. Doesn't it have to be zogt? When all of a sudden she forgot about her Polish dialect. Is there a reason for that? Is there a legitimate reason for zogt here?
I think if she wanted to be a purist, she would do that. But very often singers, sometimes they sang with their home dialect, and sometimes they sang the way it was written in Yivo spelling, which reflects Northern dialect. I don't think I suspect it wasn't a deliberate ideological move. I think it's just, I mean, I know for myself, you know, very often without thinking, I'll say a word one way, and the next time I'll say it a different way.
I never heard you say it any different way. Yeah, okay.
Well, take it from me.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, Cookie and then Susan. Cookie.
There was only one word I was uncomfortable with when she sang. She said arim genommen, and I say arum.
Right.
Arum
Well,
genommen.
she has a right to her dialect, and you have a right to your dialect.
What, so tell me what is my dialect? The arum.
It's that's Yuval dialect, which reflects
Arum genommen.
Northern Yiddish. You can call Litvak if you want to.
Oh, my father
Really,
was Litvish.
yeah, it's Northern Yiddish.
Okay,
Right.
Susan.
Thank you.
Film industry, the Yiddish film industry, which started out in Poland and then later was taken over in New York, was a Polish Yiddish combination. And in all the films, you have the Polish Yiddish used in all their, you know, Molly Pecan, everything she sings is Polish.
True. Yeah.
Because that was the film industry. And it sometimes things were filmed previously in Krakow, etc. And it was the Polish Yiddish.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Susan. Before we are moving to the reading and everything, I see we have a new member with us besides Monica. Who is Pam K? You are muted.
The Pam K is me. I'm using my wife's computer. Pam, that's my wife is Pam.
Okay. So, but who are you?
This is Andy Gordon speaking.
Ah, okay. It's just that it's an.
You see Pam, and I'm at the hospital right now for a checkup.
Okay, it's just okay. But also, you look different with this. Yeah, okay.
Well, it's because I have a mask on.
Okay, Andrew. Okay, Andy. Okay. So anyone else want to comment on the song, on the singing, not on the dialect? Please no.
I'm not on the dialect, no.
Rochale.
I have a question about dialect.
Can you hear me? Kannst du mich hören?
Yes, we can hear you. We cannot see you.
Okay, ich habe nur gewollt zu sagen, als wie ich gedenkt, Molly Pecan hat gelernt ihre Jiddisch und gehabt eine größere Spur von ihrem polnischen Mann. Und von dem öfter, sie hat euch von dem, sie hat öfter ein bisschen, nicht Jiddisch, ein bisschen, wo sie hat gewiss in der Sache von ihrem Mann. Und das öfter hilft zu verstehen, von wo sie singt ein bisschen so und ein bisschen so. No big deal.
No, it is. It explains a lot. Just a moment, Louisa. Zuli wanted to say something.
I wanted to say something because you said that it's Polish Yiddish, but within Poland you have the Galicianer, the Litvachkis, so it's not the Polish Yiddish as far as I know. It's where they came from, isn't it?
I think we should put an end to this discussion because I know from past experience it will take up the next 4 hours.
Okay. I said I will bring something, but I just don't, I don't have the strength, the emotional strength to do it.
Okay,
Luisa.
forget I asked. Sorry, forget I asked.
No, that's okay, Aida, that's okay. Luisa, yes, before we move, Luisa.
Yeah, two things. First of all, I want to say hi to my cousin Susana, who's visiting from that Aida's younger sister, and she's visiting from Israel, as I can see.
Naim meod, Susana.
And the second thing that I wanted to say, as a linguist who has studied linguistics, let me just explain that all languages change according to time, that is history and geography, so that the more time goes by, all right, the more there are changes into the language. The more geographically extended the language is, the more dialects there are going to be.
Thank you, Luisa. Anyway, if any of you have a text where we can show the differences, send it to me and we will just do it once, and maybe we will finish with it forever, maybe.
Wow. It's fun.
Okay, yeah. I make you laugh, huh, Maurice?
Good luck, Minna.
Yes.
Okay, guys, so let's move to the story. Let's move to the story. And where is the story? It's just.
Can you bring us up to date, Minna? Can you give a little, bring us up to date on the story?
Yes. The story tells about, let me just make it, okay, about a young girl of Kurdish origin, and it takes place in Israel in the 50s, probably in the 50s, and she is in love with a young soldier, and he is an Ashkenazi, and she worries that the differences in their, from where they are, will have a bad influence about the relationship, that his father will not let them be together. And she has two uncles that always tell her off that she's dressing with high heels and using cosmetics and everything. And where were we? Also, she's going to a Kishofmachern. So in order that she will give her talismans or do something that she will keep her beloved soldier. Now, where are we? Okay. And well, that's about it. He comes to visit her and they're sitting and talking about getting married, about being together. And he's saying that his mother was her name was Fruma, and she was very religious, and her father stayed loyal to her, didn't marry again. And we are here. And
can you make the text any bigger? It's really tiny on this page.
You can also.
Okay.
Okay.
That's better. Yes. Thank you.
Better?
Yeah,
okay.
but
You can also make it bigger on your screen. You know this. If you go down, you can make it bigger on your screen as well.
I don't seem to know how to do that.
I don't know how to do it either.
If you're on a PC, if you go to the top of your screen and look at view options,
yeah,
and you can, it says zoom ratio, and you can go to a higher percentage.
No.
View options. I don't see view options.
But then I can't see anybody's face.
Well, that's your
It makes
choice.
it bigger. It makes it bigger, but then it's covered by.
Now, the way that it is now, it's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Minna, I have one question.
Yes,
What is
yes.
it? What is a kishivmacher?
A kishivmacherin is a woman that is, you know, as I remember, you go to her and she will give you all kinds of talismans, and she will put her hand on your head and say all kinds of
Prayers? Blessings?
She will
A
say all
fortune
kinds
teller.
of blessings.
She's a fortune teller, a magician.
Like a magician, a
Fortune teller.
Yeah.
And they believed in that? Fruma?
Yes, many people believe in that.
Yes,
Oh,
a lot
my
of people, I remember in the neighborhood that I grew up in, people believed in it, people did it. I have to tell you, I still carry a talisman in my bag because that's how I grew up.
I never heard of it, never.
That's how I grew up because the whole neighborhood was like this.
Oh,
And yeah, so.
thank you for telling me. I never, another thing. Continue.
Okay, so we stopped at like, let's say, Pirchaut geschwiegen. Okay, so Susan, would you start to read it, please?
Where are we?
Yeah.
Pircha hat geschwiegen. Pircha became silent. Sie hat getrunken mit die Augen sein jedes Wort. She drank up every word with her eyes. Dennoch, afterwards, was wird sagen dein Tate? Hat sie verschämt gefragt. What will your father say? She asked with embarrassment. Wird mit dir Tomed sein Bräugis? Wost du lieb sich mit a Kurdisch? Oh.
Mädel.
Mit a Kurdish Mädel, will he always be mad, angry because you fell in love with a Kurdish girl? Wird dich nicht abreißen von mir? Will he not pull you away from mir? Und was wollen sagen deine Vetters? And what will your uncle say? Wollen sie maskim sein? Du sollst gehen über ein Leben mit Ashkenazi? Are they going to allow you to spend your whole life with an Ashkenazi? Meine Vetters wollen mir bloß herauszahlen das Geld. My uncles will only pay the money. Oh, it's not in the mid. It's on the side.
Yeah. Do you see it?
What's my Tata?
That's good. The Geld, was mein Tate hat sie gegeben, bis ich will unterwachsen, which the money my father gave to them, I guess for me, until I would grow up. In the bank, wo ich arbeite, where I work, haben mir alle lieb. We all like one. Sie suchen bei mir Tomed and Empher, ob ich hab schon a Bocher. They're always wanting me to answer if I have a boyfriend. Und ich sag, and I say, an Ashkenazi, Motik, an Ashkenazi, a sweetheart. Demult schließt der Director sein Buch, and then the director closes his book und guckt mich an mit Augen voll mit Kalb. And he looks at me with eyes, Augen von a Kalb, big calf eyes. Und ich schmeichel zu dir. And I smile to you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Zuli, please continue.
Frume. Vi ves más, I don't know. Mistame, sich schämen, zu sagen, min Bank. Frume, religious. Vi ves for sure, the Shemen with I cannot remember. Shemen is
you will be no.
Avergonzado. You will-
lead by
Ashamed. Ashamed.
Ashamed, that's shame. Und du weißt frume, and you are kosher or
No,
religious.
No, Zuli, one moment. He wants to call her in his mother's name. His mother's name was Frume.
Oh.
So he is asking her that you will probably be ashamed to say in the bank that your name is Frume, because Frume is kind of, it's an Ashkenazi name.
Oh.
Not a Sephardi name.
But it's also religious, isn't it?
It's also religious, yes.
All right, I didn't know it was a name.
Yes.
Kannst du von mir verlangen, als ich soll enden mit Namen genug heißen, wie dein Tate hat geheißen? Kannst du are you going to allow yourself to finish with the names, enough names, calling with the, as I with your father had a name? Gedenkst du him? Do you remember him?
Okay, so let me go.
Yeah.
Kannst du von mir verlangen? Can you, I think verlangen is expect me?
Yeah, expect me.
Allow
Yeah.
Demand.
Yeah.
Can you, demand that I will change my name and be named exactly like your father was named. Do you remember him? Okay, now go on, Zuli.
Mein Tate hat geheißen
Gamliel.
Gamliel?
Yes.
That's a difficult name, Gamliel.
Gamliel, that's a name.
Of du wirst Maschim sein. Werde ich dir rufen, Gamlei und Sheun. Shimon.
So
Oh,
if you,
I don't know why. Today I cannot read.
That's okay, Zuli, no problem. So if you will agree, I will call you Gamliel and Shimon. Before we started class, we talked a little bit about it, but not everyone was present, that it sounds to us a bit, weird, creepy at the least, that, that they are changing their names into the names of the parents.
Yes.
Usually, you give a child a name of a dead parent or an alive one in case of Sfaradis. But here it's just, a bit very, I don't know. It's disturbing. So anyone has anything to add about it? Any discussion about this practice? Know anything about such a practice?
If you become religious, a lot of women, or if you convert, a lot of women take on another name. But I never heard of this, changing your own name. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, Luisa and then Rachel.
I don't know if this is applicable, but I know that among the Sephardic Jews, especially, for example, my friends who originally come from Turkey, they give their children the name of the living grandparents.
Yeah, that's right. But here, it's not a child. It's
right.
The couple itself is changing the names.
Right.
Okay, Rachel.
Actually, that's an aside. I changed my name when I became an American citizen. So, it's like, it's a big thing. And I think that this paragraph is central to the story, because the story is about Ashkenazim and Sfaradim. Now, Frume is Yiddish, and the origin of Rume is German. Gamliel, the origin of Gamliel is Talmudic. So it says that it really wants to show that the Sephardim, I'm not saying that they are the real Jews, but they are very real Jews. I'm not saying that they're more real than Ashkenazim, but the Ashkenazim in Israel haven't accepted the Sephardim to this day. So
I don't
hey,
agree with you. I don't want to hear it.
It's
and
true.
I'm going to talk all the time till you take back your things. I'm going to interrupt this thing.
No, you are not going to interrupt.
Yes, I am. I don't.
Okay, Rachel, go on.
So anyway, it's to show like peacemaking. It's to show an intermarriage, to show a love between an Ashkenazi man and a Sephardic woman, and this is what counts. It is love what counts. And for this love, they are even changing their names. He's taking the name of her mother, and she's taking the name of his father, and that there's like it's a marriage,
like a brit, like
yeah,
no.
like yeah,
like a pact.
How do you say a brit? Like a covenant between them.
Covenant.
Like a pact between them. Okay, Neely, everyone can say whatever they want. You can agree or not agree, but you can. Everyone can say whatever they want. Okay. You can say now that
it's
you
not
don't...
true because she did not live in Israel. I'm in
Oh, really? Yeah, I lived. This is not true because
how long have you lived in Israel?
Yeah, I lived in Israel until I was 28, and I served in the army.
So it doesn't matter the army.
Yeah,
Army
okay.
shmarmy. So
Okay.
Okay, guys, anyone has another, maybe, Rochale, what is your take on this? Rochale?
You cannot say that the Sephardic...
Okay, my take, you want my take on it?
Yes, what is your take on it?
Alexa,
Yes.
stop. You want my take on it?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, wait, I'm having, okay, you can see me now, right? To be honest, I think that in order to express an opinion about what's going on in Israel, you really have to be updated and really get the entire picture. I think it's more, you know, whatever we remember or whatever our personal experience is from so long ago is not necessarily true or necessarily updated, because there are so many changes all the time in the Israeli society. And to be honest, I think I brought it up last time, and I think Svetlana was a raw, painful witness to that, how much the Ashkenazim...
We lost you. We lost you. Rochale, we lost you. Okay, so I thought maybe it has something to do with, you know, with the Holocaust, like he wants to, how do you say, to... How do you say to commemorate? No, להנציח.
אתם שומעים אותי עכשיו?
To commemorate. To commemorate.
Yeah, so maybe yeah, just a moment, Rochale. Maybe he wants to commemorate
my computer now. I'm back home, so hold on.
Okay, so maybe he wants to commemorate.
And I can talk. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, we can hear you. But Rochale, I didn't ask about what's going on in Israel. I asked if you have anything to say about this, you know, about this changing of the names.
Well, I think, you know, it's hard to tell what's in the mind of a writer. I think she wants to, I think Rachel is right saying that it is an expression of mutual love. They want to respect each other culture and kind of create a fusion between them. It could be just an idea of the writer. I've never heard about it, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. I don't know, you know. But I still want to say something about the previous topic. I think one should be very careful about what is really going on in Israel and be very careful with assuming that Ashkenazim are nothing but patronizing the Sfaradim. It's not exactly so. I know many Sfaradim who patronize Ashkenazim. You have to be very careful with that and have a mutual respect for both sides and not put down yourself in order to show how wonderful you are because we were so bad. I disagree with that. And I think last time with Svetlana, it was a raw evidence about how Russian Jews suffered when they came to Israel. Pure Ashkenazim, excuse my cynicism. So we have to be careful with that. And I think it's a mixed baggage and it goes to both directions. And I would not say that, as I said again, you have to be very careful and you have to be getting updated. You have to know what's really going on. What's going on is a mixed baggage.
Okay, thank you, Rochale.
I think Ashkenazim are discriminated. Try to be elected in the municipality of different villages and towns in Israel. Most likely you're going to fail because you're Ashkenazi.
Okay,
So,
thank you, Rochale. Luisa?
I think that this practice of changing the name, according to what I heard, is a deeply Jewish religious practice of that a person has the opportunity to change a name when there is some major event going on. Many times when somebody is very ill, there is a change of name. And I think that in this case, it has to do with their wish to express something about the identity of the soul in changing the name, both of them, as if both of them are agreeing to change the essence of who they are.
Okay, thank you, Luisa. Okay, let's go on.
I just want to say
I want to
one thing.
say something. If you want to be good in Israel, you have to choose an Israeli name and not Frume is not Israeli, it's from the Gola, and Gamliel is not a very common Israeli name for
it was nearly it was in the 50s. It was
taking
very,
it out of its time and of its concept, really.
Yeah, it was. Okay, Rachel, and we continue.
Yeah, okay. I just want to tell Nili that we should remember that the story was not written today and not 10 years ago and not even 50 years ago. It was written a long, long time ago, and it reflects what was happening back then and not now.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yes.
I just want to say something, please. My father's name at 5 years of age, he was one boy with 8 sisters, and he became ill. So all of the Rabbanim came from all around, and they gave him the name Alta. They added a name. And he was called Reb Alta his entire life. When my mother had lung cancer, she went up to Muncie, wherever the ultra Hasidim are, and they wouldn't even take her money unless they knew it was Shema Shabbos money. And when they found out who she was, a shechet's wife, and her background, they gave her, they added her name Alta to the name. Yeah. And I just wanted as a side to let you know that my name is Frummer Rachel. And I had such guilt over the Frummer. I dropped the Frummer and I never used it because I was never Frum.
Okay, Beverly.
The changing of the name when you're very ill or dying is to cheat the angel of death.
Angel of death,
that they should go to somewhere else. That's how that came about. But it's very superstitious. But it is, I'm sure it's still done today.
Yeah.
It only works if you go to a kishuf macher and
Exactly. Okay. And on this note, we will continue reading.
It's superstitious.
Karen Kainer. Karen, please continue. Keiner. Here.
Okay. Keiner.
Okay.
Okay. Keiner wird wegen dem nicht wissen, wissen nur mir beide. No one will know, but us. But we will be the only ones to know.
Yeah.
Mein ganze Mishpacha sind gewesen Trägers. My whole family were porters. Der Tate hat sich übergerissen. My father was torn up. Aber mir wollen schon nicht sein kein Trägers. But we will no longer be porters. Shimon.
What is Trägers?
Sabal, porter.
Oh, Sabal.
Yes.
Oh.
Shimon hat genommen Pirchas Kopf. Shimon embraced Pirchas head, gekuscht ihre Augen, kissed her eyes, und wieder gesagt, und said further, wir wollen sein die Kinder von die Tochter. We are the children of the dead. Die Tochter wollen kommen sein. The dead will come to see, ob wir leben a getreichen Leben. The dead will come to see if we live a devoted, beautiful life. Wir wollen sein Kinder mit Seere nehmen. We will be children with their names. Und as wir wollen haben Kinder, and as we will have children, wollen sie wissen, as Frumetels Nomen und nicht verloren gegangen. And they will know as Frume's name is not forgotten. Is not forgotten.
Yes, good.
Gamliel's Nomen is nicht antrinnen, is not, it has not disappeared. Wir wollen sie verewigen und sie wollen kommen jeder Nacht zu unserer Gelegnis. They will be with us forever, and they will come every night to our beds.
Well, this is weird.
Sie wollen uns benchen und früher wird wegen ein Kind und
Gamliel
wird wegen ein Kind. They will bless us, and Fruma will rock a child, and Gamliel will rock a child.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. I think that it's weird, but you know, what do I know? Okay, Barbara, will you continue reading? Barbara?
I didn't unmute, apologize, okay.
No problem.
Okay, so, okay. Draußen in Weißenhäuf ist schon gewesen still und feuchtig, outside in the white courtyard, it is quiet and portending, I think. Wenn Shimon hat verlost Pirke Stub, and when Shimon left Pirke's room or house, sie haben sich noch lang noch geschickt Handbewegung zu gewunken, bis Shimon ist verschwunden von weißen Häuf. And when Shimon had left, okay, I said that, they long waved at each other and beckoned each other until Shimon disappeared from the white courtyard.
Okay, before you continue, Barbara, I see that Rochelle wants to say something.
I think that in these small towns, the relationship to the dead was very different. I mean, even in Fiddler on the Roof, the grandmother comes as a vision, and there's just a different culture of the relationship between the elders who have died but are still present in Zikorin and still have meaning in the heart and minds, and have some and give some direction to the lives of the people who remain. And I think even the having the orphans marry Orphan Beis Olam is all part of this. I think we are very far from this kind of tradition and superstition that it sounds very weird to us. But I suspect that to Mexicans who celebrate the Night of the Dead, this would have a lot more meaning.
Okay, thank you, Rochelle. Yeah, someone wanted to comment on it? Okay, Marsha.
Yes, I want to comment on it.
Just a moment, but first, Marsha.
The word farchitik, and also she said Beis Olam. I wanted to know what those words meant.
Rochtik, I couldn't find what is rochtik.
Rochtik means scary.
Scary?
Scary.
Okay.
Farchitik is scary.
Forchtik.
Yeah, it usually is a sign, a portending, it portends something, could be scary.
And what was the second thing?
And I don't know what, Roach, she said Beis Olam.
Cemetery.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, now, Rochale, you wanted to comment?
Ja, ich habe gewollt zu sagen, als euch die Träume, die Chaloimes, das ist so wie ein großer Platz. Ich habe gesehen, wenn mein Tat jetzt in der älteren Jahren, hat angefangen zu üben, Chaloimes. Ich meine, das ist reingekommen, weil hat verstanden, es ist noch ein bisschen Zeit, geht weg von der Welt. Und ich habe verstanden, als du sie gewähnt eine Sache, was ist gewähnt eine Sache, was hat gelebt in der Städte dort und wie es gekommen von. Also der Chaloimes ist gewähnt wie ein Gruppe, like a gray zone, wo es Menschen hat gelebt mit ihm. Ich bin ganz im Masken mit Rachel. Und das hat ihm gegeben eine Chume, und es hat ihm geholfen zu fühlen sich besser. Hat mir gefragt, erzählen die Chaloimes, und zum ersten Mal geklärt, nur schon. Und sehr schnell habe ich verstanden, als besser nicht, als ich darf gehen mit seinen Chaloimes, und das hilft ihm zu fühlen, also gut. Hat gefragt, treffen sich mit seinen Schwieger, und ich sage, nu, wo ist sich bei ihm? Schicke mal Grüß für mir, und so weiter. Das heißt, das schadet nicht. Das ist nicht gewesen eine Sache, wo es schadet. Ich meine, das hat geholfen Menschen. In euch hat Menschen von anderen Kulturen, also wie es gesagt, ich bin 100% maskulin. Oder das passt nicht für uns. Wir sehen das anders. Oder das meint nicht, dass das ist etwas negativ oder schlecht. Das pusht anders.
Right. We have a different psychology. We have a different relationship to death in our culture than.
Ja, bemasken. Sehr schön gesagt.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. Barbara, go on. Pircha.
Oh, Pirke is weg zu der Kishivmacherin. So Pirke went to the fortune teller. Die Kishivmacherin, a weiß Beurige mit a Flam auf der linker Back. The Kishivmacher is a white-haired one with a, I don't know, is that a birthmark or it says a flame?
I think it's a birthmark.
On her left cheek. Hat gehad Stein a Pele von mit Wasser, and she had stood up a pail or a tub with water in it. In der Pele is gelegen a Kort, and in the pail is lying a card, a roiter Melech, of a red-colored king. The Melech hat sich gewegt in der Sinerner Pele, and the Melech is softening, because it's in the water, in the tin pail.
Okay, before we move, the flam, the flam of the linke back. So it's either a birthmark or, Danny, how do you say Shoshomat Yaakov? It's among certain people that came from Iraq, there was a disease that.
It was a primitive form of inflammation.
Do you hear what my husband is saying?
Can't hear.
Come here and tell them. So it was you could see it in the 50s and 60s. You could see it in Israel.
It was essentially a primitive method of vaccination. They will make a small cut and put it from the pus of, I forgot what the disease was. It is very similar to what they did with smallpox.
Oh, wow.
So you get a horrible sign on your face, but everybody knows that you are protected from the horrible disease.
Oh, wow.
And during the 50s and early 60s, you could see it in people, mostly from Iraq.
Yeah.
Mostly from Iraq. So it might be this, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Oh, wow, Dan, thank you.
Okay, Michael, yes?
Oh, I was just, when I was poking around, it occurred to me that maybe it had to do something with, when flamen means to blush, maybe her cheek was blushing, but just one cheek doesn't make sense.
No. It's one cheek. Okay, Marsha, I see your hand up.
I'm sorry, I'll put it down.
Okay. So let's continue reading. Michael, can you read, please?
What is Tinerer? Tin,
made of tin.
Okay.
Okay, wo zijn wir?
Okay, Michael.
Zestu die Karte, hat gesagt die Kishivmacherin. Zestu das Reuten Melech. So you see the card, the fortune teller asked, do you see the Red King? Ja. Ze dem Reuten Melech hat übergehasert Pirche. Yeah, I see the Red King, answered Pirche. Guck rein in dem Wasser. Tunk ein dem kleinsten Finger und sag zum Melech von der Karte. So look into the water and dip your finger in the water and say to the king who's on the card, Oisgetrachter Melech, spiegel sich in der Fehler? Okay.
Pile, I don't know.
Okay, imaginary king. So what is Fela?
Pile is the tub.
Oh, pilot. Okay. Not sure what it's trying to say.
Spiegel is to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
It's like reflect in the tub.
Okay.
Because the tub is full with water, so reflect
Right.
yourself.
Okay, so look at your reflection in the tub. Efsha.
Yes,
Das Wasser is flach. Tief is der treuer. Toib is dein Euer. Euer is dein Euer. Misch sich nicht rein in mein Glück. So your
Das Wasser.
Oh yeah, I jumped ahead. Okay, the water is flat, and the
Sorrow.
The what?
Sorrow.
Oh,
The sorrow.
Your sorrow is what is tief?
Deep.
Deep. Oh wait, that of course I know that. Okay, so deep is your sorrow. Toib is dein Euer. What is toib?
Deaf.
Deaf.
Oh,
Deaf,
your
you cannot hear.
your ears are deaf. So don't get involved in my luck.
Yes, thank you. So that's an
Happiness.
incantation. That's kind of an incantation. So
Uh-huh.
she's warding off anyone who wants to mish zecharein. So okay, thank you, Rochelle.
Could I?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, Barbara. What?
The word Ausgetrachter, I think it might be better to use the word capricious. I looked it up, and there's an Ausgetrachter Mensch, which means capricious. And here she wants, the Kushevmacher wants her to believe. She doesn't want her to believe it's imaginary. She wants her to believe in it. So I would think capricious, because
maybe.
after all, the fate is going to depend on what that card or that melech is going to show.
Yeah,
So,
maybe, yeah. Okay, Rachel.
Okay, Prara hat noch gesagt, als wo Shoshana die Kishevmacher hat geheißen. She repeated everything that Shoshana, the magician, the fortune teller, told her. Dennoch hat Shoshana reingetan beide Hände in Wasser von der Pille herausgenommen, sie und mit die Tropens gespritzt auf Paras Kopf. Then Shoshana took both her hands out of the water, and she sprinkled the water on Para's head. She's baptizing her.
Yes, yes, something like this.
Sie hat ausgezeugt von ihr Bosom, a gelbe abgeriebene Kamje und gesagt. Kameye. Okay, so she took out of her bosom abgerieben is
it's like it's
faded or faded. Maybe
not
faded.
exactly faded, something that you use a lot.
Okay.
But not faded. What is the word?
It's worn out.
Worn out. A worn
Okay.
out.
A worn out talisman. And she said, sie auf a langen Haar deinem und gib sie dein Bescherten. See her on a long hair?
Pull.
What's hair?
C is pull.
CZ oif.
Oh, all right. Pull out a long hair. of
Mhm.
yours and give it to your betrothed.
Yeah.
Darf die Kimje
Come here. Yeah. Come here.
Kamer ständig tragen auf sein nackten Leib. He needs to carry this forever on his naked body.
Okay,
This is
thank you,
getting weirder
Rochelle.
and weirder.
Thank you. No, it's not getting weirder because it's very, you see this?
Yeah.
Where?
You see? And so
Yes.
that's a kamea.
Okay.
That's a kamea. And there
Well, so
are,
is the hand, right?
yes, exactly. Then, but that's a kamea. And I'm carrying it always with me because that's the way, well, that's the way I grew up with. So I don't know. Not everyone grew up with all
Okay.
It can be called in English an amulet. An
An
amulet.
amulet, exactly. And a lot of soldiers that go into the army are carrying amulets and cameos with them.
Okay.
And
Not
baseball players.
everyone, but it depends where you grew up and with whom you grew up. So, okay, Rochale, you will want to
I
finish
just
the
wanted to
story?
say also a lot of baseball players.
Yes, yes. Baseball players, football players. Okay. Rochale, you want to finish it? To finish the story?
Die Haar wird sich Chalile nicht überreißen. So the hair will, God forbid, not be torn. Die Haar mit der Kamea will tun mit ihm Dormonen as du bist sein. The hair with the omen will always... Huh?
Talisman.
Talisman.
Talisman, I forgot. Will always, wait, I lost myself. I lost the spot.
Always down here.
Yeah, it will always remind him that you're his. Percha hat gezittert, Percha shook. Ihre Augen sind gewesen ungefüllt mit Tränen. Her eyes were filled up with tears. Ihre dünne Haar werden ihm zubinden zu dir auf ewig. Her thin hair will bind him to her forever.
Okay, so.
Yeah, we still, in Victorian times, they did lockets with their loved one's hair. And, you know, I had a little heart locket and I had the hair from my baby from the first haircut. I put in the little heart locket. So,
okay. Yeah, I am.
you know, it's just these things that we do.
Yes,
yes, I was going to say, I don't believe in that, but yet every time one of my grandchildren has an option, and we cut the hair, ich nehme a kleine Säckele und ich leg das rein.
Exactly.
Or baby teeth or whatever. I mean,
Das felt good. Oder ich glaube nicht in dem, und ich mache das.
But it connects us.
Yeah,
It's a tradition. It
It's
becomes
a tradition.
And if you are
Yes, and it
Romanian,
connects us.
Das ist die komische Sachen, das ist nicht Jiddisch. Sie upscheren der Uhr, sie 3 Jahre alt, ist ein Minag, was ist gekommen nicht von Jeden, von den Muslimen, von Christischen, das ist hereingekommen zu dem jüdischen Leben später.
I hate to tell you, it goes back to the Babylonians.
Das ist nicht der jüdische Minag, aber das ist geworden so fromm. Es hat kommen ein Rebbe und machen eine Brüche von der Upscheren.
Yeah, it's also
What, Nili?
הברכה של הרבי, it's also like going to the fortune teller. It's the same thing for me.
Okay, Marsha.
Yeah, before we were reading an Ausgetrachte Melech. I think I heard Ausgetrachte many times when I was growing up, and I always thought it was like made up or in imaginary, what you said. But capricious is like a fancy English word that I'm not even sure. I looked it up, but it's still, even the definition, I didn't understand it that much. So I think imaginary or made up would be more, down to earth. I don't know. It's my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, Rochelle and then Susan.
My mother used to say, "Das ist ein ausgetrachte Mindset," meaning you're not telling the truth.
Yeah, you are making it up. Yeah. Susan?
Just agreeing that Ausgetracht, you thought it out. It's not real. It's imaginary. That's the perfect meaning. Yes.
Neely, this is for you. This is for you. That is a talisman from the Rav Kaduri, Neely. So that's for you. We have a collection of talismans.
Mina, be careful now. I want to ask you guys, did you read the book, The Eved, of Bashevet Zinger?
The Slave? No.
Yes. You guys need to read it because it can arrange many things for you, bring you to reality.
What's the name? What's the name?
The Slave by Bashevet Zinger.
So you heard, Mina, that there was a girl that went to the same rabbi that you went?
No, I didn't go. No.
No, listen, don't jump.
I just have a collection of talismans.
Mina, be patient.
Okay.
So she goes to the same rabbi and she said, Rabbi, mach mir anes. And er fragt ihr, im Chalav or bli Chalav, mit Milch oder ohne Milch?
That's good because explain it. You have to explain it.
In Hebrew, there's a slang, nes. Nes, it means Nescafe, which means instant coffee. But nes is also a miracle. So it's like the joke uses both.
Miracle of coffee. It's not real coffee, it's a miracle.
Okay. My
So, I mean, we all think that we, came up with things, but I've been reading a lot of ancient history, and it goes back to Sumer, Akkadian, Babylonian, Assyrian. I mean, they all had this stuff. Absolutely. And we lived among them. So we picked up stuff, or maybe we gave it to them, or maybe we invented it together. But I mean, it's been around, and that's why it's all over our world too, is because they came from the same thing too.
Yes, so but Judaism tried to create something else. The Judaism, and you can see even in the Bible how it fights to bring monotheism without all of those things and make it more spiritual. Even Rachel, she was punished supposedly according to the Bible, carrying the I forgot the word.
The idols.
The idols. No, but there's the word klafim. Kleine idols, and it was discovered amongst her things that she didn't let go of that, and she was punished for that. So it's a fight that exists in Judaism. What is the meaning of monotheism? Really getting rid of that, and you get the feeling.
Just a minute, Rochelle. It depends. Also, if you believe that the Bible is real stories, because the Bible can be also stories of the Kishefmachers.
Okay. True, but the idea of, no, let me answer, Neely. The idea of monotheism, of bringing in monotheism, is very clear all along.
Michael Wex's book, Kvetch, and then his other book, New, goes through the origin of some of the superstitions that were held during, the time of the shtetl, and some of the Yiddish expressions that express some of this superstition.
Absolutely.
Louisa, let Louisa talk a little.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, what did your husband come to say to us?
Yeah.
Okay. He wanted to say that in case of the Romanians, they used garlic. They used garlic as a way of a talisman. That was the ingredient of a talisman. But that's also, if you think, it's to ward off
evil spirits.
No, how do you say it?
How to tell them a story.
No,
vampires.
Vampires.
How do you say what?
Exactly.
Vampires, yeah.
Because they took it from their neighbors, because garlic is used to ward off vampires. So anyway, but Jewish, Romanian Jews are also using garlic as a way to ward off all kinds of shadings in the.
Yeah, you see it sometimes hanging on the wall, exactly.
Because of
Does your husband know why the vampire became a Romanian idea? What's the story?
Because the Count Dracula lives in Romania. You don't. That's from the story.
Oh,
the
yeah,
story by
yeah,
Mary
I forgot
Shelley.
about that. True. Yeah, I
The
forgot.
story by. I went to the castle where he lives, so you know.
That was
I must tell you-
Frankenstein.
I must tell you a funny story. My
Okay,
husband,
Beverly.
my husband was doing a house call, and he comes in, and the guy, and he smells this terrible thing. He says, "What do you have? What's that?" He says, "I have garlic around my neck." Dave says, "What's that for?" "To keep the evil spirits away." So Dave says, "The only thing it's going to keep away is the doctor."
But you know
actually eating garlic
healthy.
is
It's
an
healthy.
antiviral.
It's healthy. Yeah, it's healthy.
It's very healthy. So they must have been onto something without knowing it.
Yeah, but
You know,
the smell.
The smell, I know.
My daughter-in-law, she married, when she married my son, and he's a doctor, she said, "I'm not going to eat an apple anymore. You know, an apple a day
Keeps the doctor away."
No, not for me.
Okay, we can talk about, superstition forever. It's a subject that I have a lot of experience with. So
Well, it's not a bad idea to have a schmooze about that. I actually like it
About
a lot.
superstition,
There's a lot
yeah,
of
we can-
wisdom in it, I find there's some wisdom in it. Some of it is really Narishkeiten, or maybe Narishkeiten the way we see it today.
that
But,
we think. Yeah. Well, maybe I will find. Yeah, Marsha. Yes, I see you.
Okay.
Marsha.
tell the story that
Yeah.
brings it more in.
Unschuldig mir, I've read stories where soldiers have been saved by amulets. They put the amulet near their heart and the bullet didn't go through them. So sometimes it works.
Yes, but sometimes it works. Yeah, you never know. Well, I will have to find something about it. Right now, next week, we are going to Mexico. The story is taking place in Mexico next week. I'm just going to know country by country. We have been to Israel, then we are going to Mexico, then we will go, I think, to Argentina. After Mexico, we will go to Argentina. This way, we are just traveling the world. So we get to know different culture or different Yiddish traditions in every place. So next week will be Mexico. Anyway, but I see that. Okay, some of it I don't. Barbara, you wrote something in the chat.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I think you were thinking of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. So
Yes.
I looked up Dracula, who turned Dracula into a vampire. So there was a novel by Bram Stoker.
Yes.
1897, it was a Gothic horror novel. And the diabolical Count Dracula is the most famous vampire in the world. So I just wanted to, I thought
his castle is very dark, and I think they are using it for tourists now. So, it's not his castle. They took a castle in Transylvania and declared this is the castle of Dracula, like the one in the one in Denmark that they say that's the Hamlet castle.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's a
and
theme park.
the same in Verona. There is a designated veranda that they say Julia was here. Yes, of course.
Oh.
Julia was there. Julieta, yes. Michael, you also wrote something, but I didn't get to see it.
It didn't. I found it. The only I was looking in the book center's database for a text that talked about a flam muffin buck, and I found the one, but then when I pasted it in there, it mixed it all up because it's not the correct direction. Anyway,
those castles always have a lot of tourist eating establishments and card shops and
gift shops.
Just by accident. Just by accident.
Just by accident, yeah. Okay, Monica. Yes, Monica.
We talk about the origins of different stories, customs, or whatever. And actually, if you go to the Torah, and you go to Numbers chapter 21, verse 29. The first word in that line is oi, which means woe. So that's an early source for oi, like oy vey. So here you go.
That's interesting. What is numbers in Hebrew?
Dvarim.
Dvarim.
Bamidbar.
Bamidbar.
Oh, yeah.
Bamidbar. Yeah.
Okay. I never know which is what. So yeah, Bamidbar. Okay. That's very interesting. Thank you, Monica. That's really.
What verse?
As I say.
What chapter and verse was it?
Monica, Louisa is asking for the chapter.
Right. It's, let me go back and look. It is chapter 21, verse 29.
Verse what?
29.
Thank you.
29.
Okay. Okay. Monica, I will send your emails to the people in the group that are sending messages. So it's me, Michael, Barbara, and Maurice. That's okay with you, yes?
Beverly.
Yeah.
And Beverly, sorry, yeah. Beverly, sorry. Ja, nicht gefährlich. Okay. Nicht gefährlich. Okay, free speech, whatever you want. We finish the story and we will start a new one next time. So, Louisa.
Yeah, I wanted to mention something that I came across in my studies about the Jews in the Ottoman Empire during the 19th century, when they were sort of in contact with the French Jewish community. And they were the French Jews who were basically coming out of all the sort of intellectual rationalism and so forth, they were appalled by the superstitious nature of the Jews from the Ottoman Empire. They regarded them as being at a very low level of education, and that led to the creation of the Alliance Israélite Universelle, which became a network of French schools that blossomed throughout the Ottoman Empire, and they became very educational for many years. And one of the superstitions that they had was that they thought that there was an underworld actually under the earth, where elements would come under the earth to be, I don't know, demons or things like that. So, and they believed in that apparently. So the French Jews were upset, horrified at the level of superstition, and they decided to help them with education. And that's why French became so prevalent in the Sephardic world.
Okay, Alliance is, you know, the schools of Alliance were famous.
I need to add something, please, if
Yes.
I may.
Sure.
From what I remember learning about that is that the French were very worried about their equal rights in France when they got all of this liberty and so forth. And they were afraid that this will put down them. So they hurried into building those schools so that everyone under the French rule will have a similar education, and that it will preserve their rights and what they wanted to achieve within the French society. But still, you can see that they were treating the girls differently than the boys. On the one hand, they got a progressive education, but on the other hand, they make sure they know how to sew, like melachot bait, you know, domestic.
Home economy.
Yeah.
And,
Okay,
look in Israel, they have the kotel to pray there, but the women are not, don't get the equal rights there.
That's a different issue, Nili.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with Aliyah.
Issue in a different country.
Nili loves the religious people. She just adores them. Yes, Nili.
Adore them very much.
Yeah.
And they earn it by themselves. They treated us so badly in Israel that they earn it.
Okay,
cannot
anyone
generalize like that.
anyone
Yeah.
has anything to say before we close for today?
Yeah, Beverly, Beverly, would
Goodbye.
you introduce your Machateniste? Wait, she's
Yes, here's
muted.
my Machatenista, Marge Krubener from Connecticut, and she understood most of it.
Okay,
wonderful.
so,
Nice to
so you
meet
can
you
sing
all.
it, Machateniste, meine, Machateniste, Getreie.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Yes, I know, I
Yeah.
Maybe we'll sing it next week.
I love the group. It really is nice, really.
Where in Connecticut are you from?
Fairfield, but I'm
Connecticut?
originally from Brooklyn, New York.
But where are you from now? Because I'm from
Fairfield.
Connecticut.
Where? I'm in Fairfield.
I come from Norwich, Connecticut.
Okay, you're further. No, I'm in Fairfield.
Fairfield.
Oh, okay. I'm in Woodbridge, Connecticut, close to New Haven County.
Okay. Yeah.
I lived in Hartford, Connecticut too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
We
we
have
have
not Naya Enikel, a Mädele.
Oh, Mazel tov.
Because he's gekommen for the naming.
Yes.
And a boychik ayach. We have a boychik and a Mädele.
a boychik, I love it, a
boychik and a Mädele.
A lot of nachas.
May I have a comment about
You need a
superstition?
Gamliel or Simon, name it.
No.
Well, I don't know if you read in the chat, Gamliel has a very deep, nice meaning. It means
Yes.
God has rewarded me. What's wrong with that?
Hey, come on, Rochale.
It is a nice name. What do you want? It's a
Oh, come on.
Okay, may I say something about
Yes.
the superstitions?
Yes, Ida.
The superstition, because I always consider superstition goes with ignorance. The more educated you are, and that's why on Western Europe, people were more educated than in Eastern Europe. And that's why they look down on the people that were ignorant and they believed in all this superstition because scientifically you can never prove it. And it goes with education. The least educated you are, the more superstitious you can be.
You can be.
It also depends on the culture in the house, on your parents.
Yeah, it depends on the.
Depends on where you live.
No, I grew up, my mother was very superstitious and my father used to laugh at her and he didn't believe in any of this. But you know, the thing at my home was like this, okay, it cannot disturb. It cannot hurt, so let's do it. It cannot hurt. So
we all say poo poo poo.
Yeah, so all the things. And you know, my kids, they also, it doesn't hurt. We don't believe in it, but it doesn't hurt.
But it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to believe in it. Okay.
Okay. It's like the expression.
I know very educated people who do some things for just in case, you know.
Just in case, exactly. Just in case. Yeah, Rochelle. And
Or the comment that, you know, the atheist argues with the God he doesn't believe in.
Exactly.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Okay. Bye, guys. See you
Bye,
next
thank
week.
you.
Monica,
Bye.
I hope you will join us.
Susana.
Lovely to see you.
Sister.
Bye-bye.
Okay, gite Woche. Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Suni, visita.